Hello, this is my review for The Shining, the 1980 film directed by Stanley Kubrick, starring Jack Nicholson and Shelley Duvall. I'm going to start this film review off by talking about how great the atmosphere was throughout the film. Truly an amazing, suspenseful film that I consider to be my all-time favourite horror film, personally. Jack Nicholson's acting was 10 out of 10. Shelley Duvall's acting was also 10 out of 10, and I thought the child actor was solid, but I also feel like it's a little bit unfair to compare him to other actors in that simply just forgive me for pointing out the obvious, but Jack Nicholson and Shelley Duvall have been on the planet decades longer than he has, and so they've had more experience. They can improve their skill. He's not even he wasn't even 10 years old when this film came out, when this film was directed, when he was acting in it. So his acting, I'd say overall, can't be on the same level as Jack Nicholson and Shelley Duvall, but his acting was great. I thought that it was good acting. It was really, really good acting. The little girls were scary. Their acting was also impressive. I would say that the scene where they say to Danny, "Come play with us, Danny," after when he's riding around on his tricycle, that was on his trike. That was pretty. I was acting for what they had. The acting there was impressive. I thought the acting there was solid. I would say that this film is so scary. The reason why this film is so terrifying is because of how realistic the events in the film truly are. There is no jump scare. There is no Frankenstein werewolf monster that jumps out from the sidelines and chases you with three arms and twin heads and five eyes. There's nothing. There's nothing like that. It is simply humans in the Overlook Hotel in a building trying to survive a long winter, and it's so scary because it feels so realistic. And I think the real reason why this film's cultural impact is undeniable is because, and why so many people revere this film, why so many people love this film, why this film is still rewatched 4 decades later, is that feels as if this could actually happen. This is a not outlandish fictional concept. It's not like it's SpongeBob and Patrick Star. This is a realistic film that makes us all think, could this happen to me? Could this actually occur? Could something like this play out with my my family, my friends, my neighbours, my people I know, people I see on the street? Could this could actually happen to them? This is why I think that's the real reason why it's so scary. I would say that arguably I think maybe my personal favourite, scariest scene in The Shining is the woman in the bathtub when she's just walking towards Jack Nicholson. It's so simple, and she's not running at him with a knife. She's not trying to eat him. She's not trying to bite him. She's not trying to cause any major harm to him. She's just walking towards him, and he's backstepping. He's walking backwards, and he's absolutely petrified. And she was just terrifying. It just really freaked me out when I watched that scene. And I thought another scene that would obviously be in that. There's so many great scenes that are scary, but another scene that I want to mention is Danny and Jack talking when when Jack reiterates the words that the little girls say, "Forever and ever and ever and ever." When the two girls say, "Danny, come play with us," Jack says that again, and it just makes you think: is Jack talking here, or is something else in the room? Is something influencing him? Is something else occurring? It just gives you an unsettling vibe that really it just sends shivers up your spine. I would say that one of the other great scenes that they have is the scene where Jack Torrance and Wendy, when they walk up the stairs after they have that, when Jack screams at Wendy and Jack says to Wendy, "What do you want to talk about?" And that was just a terrifying scene when they're walking up the stairs. That was. I've heard some people theorize that notice Shelley Duvall's character Wendy sees visions, if you will, sees aspects of the hotel that she didn't see previously before this scene. Like, for example, the scene where the man has the knife, or I'm forgetting, a weapon stuck in his head when she goes to the elevators and the elevators open and the blood pours out. None of that happened before she walks up the stairs. And I've heard some people theorize that when she walks up the stairs with Jack, she goes backwards up the stairs and Jack follows her. That was her ascending to another plane of reality, if you will. That was a new reality that Jack was already in, and Danny was already in, and she was just late to the party, and she was just coming in. She was late. She was late to the party of the of the different plane of reality, if you will. I don't want to say alternate dimension, but just a different version of reality where the supernatural was possible, if you know what I mean. I would say that Jack, another great scene is Jack talking to Charles / Delbert Grady in the toilet when the walls are red and they're discussing what had happened, and that Charles or Delbert Grady had killed his 2 daughters with an axe, and then Charles or Delbert Grady, Grady tells Jack that he corrected his daughters, he corrected his wife. That scene was just horrifying. That scene was just terrifying. And the scariest aspect about that is that they're just talking to each other. Once again, there's no jump scares. There's no monster with 3 heads and 5 eyes. It was just 2 guys talking, and it's scary. I'm getting a little bit nervous actually just thinking about it, because it's a scary scene. The actor, I don't know the name of the actor for Charles or Delbert Grady, but he did a great job in that one scene. That was a fantastic scene. He spills the drink on Jack, and then you see them talking in the bathroom, and then I believe you also hear his voice later on in the film when Jack's in the food cupboard after Shelley drags him into. I believe you hear his voice there. That scene was solid. I would say that another great moment, I would say, is Danny retracing his steps in the snow, which was sort of foreshadowed by Jack retracing his steps after he has that encounter with the elderly woman in the bathtub. That was interesting parallel there. Interesting parallel between Jack and Danny. And I'd also say that sort of ties into my final point here, that there's so many theories on this film. I heard a film reviewer talk about this, and they said, if you ask people about The Shining, if you ask 5 people about The Shining, you will get 15 different interpretations, theories, ideas, different ways in which they speculate about the film and what this means, what that means, how does this influence that. The film was just brilliant. I would say, I'm trying to think if I've missed anything here on my list, but no, I think I've covered. There's a few. I could probably do another review on The Shining, because this is my all-time favorite horror film, and I think you need to see it. You need to watch this film, and if you haven't, I'd highly recommend you putting that at the top of your to-do list for the near future. Thanks for watching.